Hey, y'all. Or shall I say cyberspace? All of the people who are not listening to me at this moment. But I wanted to jump on again and talk a little bit about the Epic Women's Conference. So, someone recently said to me that they thought the Epic Women's Conference was for millennials. Well, first off, I'm not a millennial myself. Now, millennials are absolutely welcome. However, it is not a conference for just millennials. It is a conference for every single woman, every shape and size, every race, every age, every background. But it's for women who are really serious about um, really just being inspired. So there's so many different things that you can encounter at the Epic Women's Conference. For one, there will be phenomenal vendors that will be there selling all kinds of fantastic products. Hey, Lanya, how are you? There will be 12 different speakers that will offer dynamic workshops. I talked to a sister today in Walmart. Uh, we're all at Walmart, right? Who was so excited about the conference as a woman in leadership and as a woman of color who finds herself at the table alone often, which is the case for us women of color at times on many occasions. And I want to preface this by saying this is not a conference just for women of color. However, we want to address the issues that every single woman has to face, but we also want to be very specific. And so the first workshop that came to mind when she was talking to me about these concerns that she was having in her own career and learning how to grow and learning how to just sort of deal with what it means to be at the top and be alone. The first person that came to mind was Leslie Myers, Dr. Leslie Myers, because her workshop, Leadership Lessons, will be a culmination of all of the leadership experiences that she has shaped, or she has had, and that have shaped her career. And for those of you who know Les, she is just a dynamic speaker. She and I got to do a TEDx talk last year together. It was a wonderful experience that we got to share. So I got to see, and hopefully those of you who watched her video, which thousands of people did, will get to hear her, those of you who are registered for the conference. But again, there's no particular race, there's no particular age, there is no particular anything, except you need to be a woman. Unless you are a brother that wants to volunteer, inbox me, reach out to me, reach out to my husband, Moses Smith. We would love to have strong men supporting epic women. So I'm happy to answer any questions for those of you who are on the line. I actually have 5 viewers today. I'm so excited about that, y'all, because yesterday it was just me, like by myself. Oh, I just saw somebody. Now I'm down to 4. Okay, I need to focus back on the conference. So any questions anybody have about the conference? The conference is being held on September 29th, and it's going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn in College Town. It's a wonderful space. I don't know if you've ever been to a wedding or another conference or any kind of event at the Hilton Garden Inn, but it's a beautiful space. Registration starts at 8 a.m. and the conference kicks off at 9 a.m. There will be an opening session. So I will be doing the opening session, but before I start, LaShonda McCatney will really get us excited about the day, get us pumped up. She has some energetic music that she's going to bring to all of us and really just invite us in and really get us excited about what we're getting ready to experience for the day. And then my opening session will really be about my heart for the conference and all the things that I hope that you guys will be able to receive out of the conference. And I hope to talk to you a little bit about how to best, what does the best attendee of this conference look like? Because I want everybody, I don't want you to miss anything, because there's going to be so much going on. You would have already chosen your workshops. If you register online, at LaShondaLeslieSmith.com/epic. You will pay the $35 registration fee, and you will receive a link to select your workshops as well. Workshops are filling up. Tonight, we're making some decisions about which workshops should be closed, because we don't want an overabundance in one workshop versus the other. We really want the workshop presenters to have time to answer questions, to work with you guys, etc. Each workshop will be about 1 hour. And as I mentioned, the workshops will be phenomenal. So let me pull up my this document here where I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the workshops, because I want you guys to hear from me who is there. Okay, so I talked a little bit about Dr. Leslie Myers, Ashley Cross, who is a phenomenal entrepreneur and has started Girls Home, and she's just a serial entrepreneur, has really, really great skills to share. If you want to start a nonprofit, or if you're running a nonprofit currently, if you're trying to start a business, if you are interested in understanding what are the tools that you need, the basic tools that you need to get started in business, to your own business. And even if you are working a job right now, you just want a little side hustle, there will be some tools that you'll be able to glean from this talk and from Ashley, Pastor Ashley, to learn a little bit about entrepreneurship. And I'm sure she'll share a lot about her experiences running a girls group home and how she funded that girls group home, as well as all of the skills that she built along the way and the partnerships that she created in order to do that. Because one thing that we have to remember as women is that we cannot do any of this alone. So it really bothers me when I hear women say, oh, I don't get along with women, or I don't have no women friends, or, like, I don't understand. Like, for me seeing another sister, another woman achieve all of her goals, like, I feel like I win in that. And if there's anything that I can do to help push her to the next level, like, I'm all about that. And I don't understand the crabs in the barrel mentality. Hey, Joelle, how you doing, girl? I don't understand the crabs in the barrel mentality. I don't understand a lot of strife and dissension that comes between women. For one, many of us experience a lot of the same things, irrespective of our racial background. And so we should be there for one another to help propel and push and drive each other. Because the reality is, if I help you get through the door that's opening, or even crack just a little bit for you, then you can reach your hand out, extend your hand, and pull me in as well. And so we really have to change our mind about that. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Cousin Yvonne. We have to change our mind about that and really begin as women to support one another. And this is what this conference is all about. I feel my heart pounding because I'm getting excited. I'm ready to just into each and every woman who comes there. And it definitely is a low self-esteem. Hey, Tanya, and I think sometimes it comes from our family of origin. Sometimes we have experiences that have taught us behaviors, and not just our family of origin. I probably shouldn't say just that, but sometimes experiences that we've had in our youth. That's what I really mean. So we may have had a negative experience. It could have been with a family member. It could have been at school. It could have been on our first job. Sometimes we just feel like we're inadequate, or we're just not enough. Sometimes we've been hurt so many times. Some of us have mother issues. Some of us have father issues. Some of us have sibling issues. We just have issues that we need to be willing to work through, deal with, in order to really pursue God's best for us and to really fulfill our purpose. But if there's things on the inside of us that are not right, and we're not willing to be introspective, meaning dig deep inside of ourselves to see what is it about me that is causing this situation. If I'm the common denominator in the situation, what is it about me? And I think it's also important for us to understand what our giftings are, because sometimes we'll experience things in life. So sometimes we bring it on ourselves, but sometimes in the shaping and the cultivation of our gift and who we are becoming and what we're supposed to be doing, sometimes those things will come. And we don't want to be confused about that. We need to understand that. And so I'm hoping that you will discover a little bit more about who you are and what your purpose is. Hey sis, how you doing, Chris? At this conference. That's what this is all about. It looks like I have an awful glare in my glasses, so I'm just going to take those off. And so one other workshop that I'm very, very, very excited about is Jaquima Jones. First of all, this woman, let me tell y'all, she is a powerhouse, and she's going to be talking about healthy relationships. One thing that excites me the most is when we have God moments and God connections, when people, I get an idea and I think it's my idea, but then when I connect to the right person, they are the perfect fit to the puzzle piece. Hey, babe, I see you too. That's my boo thing right there. 20 years we're in this game together. Yes. But anyway, I digress. So when you have a God idea, or, you might think it's your idea, and then someone comes together and locks arms with you. And that's what it has been like with many of the presenters, pretty much all of the presenters that we have. We've locked arms together and we're saying we're doing this thing together. So Jaquima, when I reached out to her, because every woman, I reached out to them intentionally. I felt in my belly that every single woman who is a current presenter is supposed to be presenting, and supposed to be presenting on the specific topic that they're presenting on. And Jaquima is one for healthy relationships. So let me tell you, this is not just for, Jaquima is married, but this is not just for married women. This is not just for girlfriends. This is not for folks who are engaged or people who are dating. This is for every single woman, every spectrum of relationships, including relationships outside of a romantic relationships. But she's going to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that we need to understand about ourselves so that we can function in a healthy manner in any relationship that we're in. Because that's what it is all about, healthy relationships, being able to come together in a healthy manner and being able to walk away when we need to in a healthy manner. And everybody don't know how to say goodbye. And sometimes people are in our lives for a season and for a reason, and we need to be willing to accept them for that season and accept them for that reason. And sometimes the reason is not always what you want it to be about. Now, sometimes, this, fly fella, he come into your life and, he just everything, he open up doors, he pushing chairs, he just wonderful. And even in situations like that, he just may not be yours. And that's okay. And not yours because he belongs to some other sister, but he just may not be the person that God has for you, the person who will perfectly fit together with you. And so we want to talk a little bit about that. And we want to talk about this sisterhood thing and what it means to be a sisterhood, what it means to be in a sisterhood, and what your responsibility and your role is in that, and how to take responsibility. So I'm very, very excited about Jaquima. I really wish that I could be in every single workshop. And I've had people say to me, a friend of mine, LaQuanda, she commented today, hey Les, let me know if you want to join in so you can talk a little bit about leadership lessons. But LaQuanda commented when she saw some of the postings, if you have not gone on to Epic Women's Conference, the page, please like our page, and please share our page, and please let as many women as you know about this conference and what it's all about and what we hope to accomplish and what you are going to gain as an attendee at that conference. What's so exciting is to see women purchasing 10 tickets so that they can give 9 of them away to their sisters. And there's a whole bunch of girlfriend packages where purchase when the early bird was offered, which is very, very exciting to see. So I'm new to Facebook, and I'm not new to Facebook. I'm a champ at Facebook, but I am new to Facebook Live, and I want to bring my girl Leslie in. However, I am not exactly sure how to do that. Somebody is going to help me figure that out before we get off this live. If y'all know, just comment and help us out, because we're supposed to be helping each other out, right? And I would love for Les to talk a little bit about leadership lessons and some of her experiences in leadership, and some of the things, just kind of elaborate on some of the things that I had already said. I have no clue. It says invite friends, and it looks like Leslie is already here, but I want to invite her to join my live. Does anybody know how to do that? Okay, so we'll move on. One other workshop. Well, I'm excited about all of them, but another workshop is Barbie Santos workshop. Oh my God. If you've not met Barbie, like she is Barbie. Okay. She is the cutest thing. There is an invite button, Alanya, but it just says invite friends. And so I invited Leslie, and it didn't ask me anything else. So for those of you who know how to add someone into the Facebook Live, how to have somebody join you, please share that with me so that I can have my sis Les join. Hey Charlene, how you doing? Hey nephew. So Barbie is going to be talking about life challenges, and she's going to be coming from a personal perspective, and just talking about the challenges that we go through in life. There are so many things. We as women, we multitask. Like I'm already thinking right now as I'm talking to you guys, what is going to be for dinner tomorrow? What is the week looking like? There's so many things. I am an entrepreneur. I am a builder. I am a pioneer. I've been running nonprofits for the last 15 years. I'm on the 4th nonprofit, I think, that I've been running. And so as you can imagine, I'm juggling a lot. And so there are some life challenges. Sometimes, I know my boo may be watching. I love you, babe. But sometimes marriage is hard. Like hard is HE double hockey sticks, if it's okay to say that. It's hard. It's hard because marriage was created by God, and the enemy hates God and hates us and does not want that to go forward. And so there have been some times, I'm gonna tell y'all. Now, I'm not even necessarily talking about this in the conference. So I just want to throw this in for y'all for free. But there were times when I wanted to pack my bag. There actually was a time when I packed my bag and I tried to sneak out of the house and get away because it was hard. This was about year 13. We're in year 20. It was hard. It was hard. We weren't seeing eye to eye. We weren't talking. We would go days without talking to each other, which was not our normal experience. And so I didn't know what to do with that. And I just wanted to bolt, because I grew up in a household where there was a lot of drama, a lot of violence, a lot of things that I just did not want to be a part of, did not want to experience. And although those things were not happening in my house, it was just hard. And sometimes when it gets hard, we run. Just quite point blank period. We know there are a lot of fathers and mothers, when it gets hard, they've ran. But I'm so grateful to my husband, and I'm grateful that he knows the Lord, and I'm grateful that we have made a commitment. So that's what I believe that marriage is all about. It's about a commitment. It's much more about commitment than it is about compatibility, because I promise you that if our marriage was based solely on compatibility, we would be divorced by now. My husband is sweet and kind and he has a servant's heart. He is a giver. He's gentle. He will outserve anybody. Okay. I'm not real good at all of those things. I'm a little bit rough around the edges. My exterior is just a little bit harder. So it's like a rabbit and a porcupine trying to come together and have a strong marriage. But when I had that duffel bag packed and I was ready to go, he said, "This is not what we do. We don't run. We made a commitment, and it might be hard, but you will stay here." And other times when I got upset and I said, "You need to go sleep on the couch," he said, "No, we don't sleep on the couch. Mama's house is Mama's house." And that's something that we learned from our bishop, Bishop Gregory Paris. And he and Pastor Myra Paris were such wonderful role models to us. And so I know that you will get some of that information, not directly from me, although I'll talk to anybody about it. And actually, Moses and I do premarital counseling through our church, Glory House International. And we offer premarital counseling to not just folk within our church, but folk outside of the church as well. And we are certified SYMBIS facilitators. So SYMBIS is an acronym that stands for Saving Your Marriage Before It Gets Started. So if you're interested, and there'll be some information about that at the conference as well. And if you're interested in taking a SYMBIS assessment, which is a comprehensive assessment, it's kind of like if you're familiar with any kind of personality test, like a Myers-Briggs or a DISC assessment. It is that level of assessment, but for married people and for those who are courting or engaged, even thinking about getting married. If you're just dating and you think that marriage might be an option for you down the line, inbox us, see us. We'd love to give you a SYMBIS assessment. It's a small investment that you would make into your marriage or your future or potential marriage. And you would learn so much about your personality, your I want to use the word holes, but I would say areas of opportunity, because we all have areas of opportunity. So this assessment highlights those areas of opportunity and helps you to figure out the tools that will be best that you need to apply in your marriage, and in your future marriage, even in the dating relationship. Because quite frankly, if dating isn't fun, if you are going back and forth and you're beating each other up, not literally, but figuratively, and if literally you need to get out right now. But if you are not having fun when you're dating, that is probably not the person for you. You know, some people rationalize, "Oh, well, we're just having a hard time because the devil," we give the devil too much credit. Maybe you guys are just not meant to be with one another, and that is okay. Free yourself, and allow for space for the person, the man or woman that God has for you to come along. So anyway, I just threw that little tidbit in for free. That's not really what I'm here to talk about. I wanted to talk about the conference. I also wanted to talk about Julie May's workshop. So Julie May, and for those of you who just joined, just a reminder, we're talking about the Epic Women's Conference that's coming up. It's going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn in College Town. Tickets are $35. Did you hear what I said? $35. That is a very small investment to make into your future. We complain so much about investing in ourselves, and it blows my mind. It makes absolutely no sense to me, because I should be the most important person to me. And some people say, "Oh no, your spouse should be the most important. Your children should be the most important." Yes, they are important, and second only to God. But quite frankly, if I don't care enough about myself, I take every single opportunity that I can to invest in myself, to build myself, be it an educational class that I can take, a spiritual class that I can take, a conference that I can go to, or just meeting up with a sister who knows a little bit more about something than I do, just for coffee, to say, pour into me, and I'm happy to pour back out into you. Like, we need to take more time for ourselves. Mothers, that's why you're burning out, because your children have become your God. You spend more time with your children than you do with your mate, than you do with yourselves. If you don't take time to spend time with your own thoughts, then you're going to have some problems down the line. And you're serving, which is great. And that's beautiful. And I love to see people serve in their community, giving of themselves in their community, giving of themselves to their families, to their churches. And in the end, guess what? They have nothing left for themselves. And you are no good to anybody. So let me help you, sister. Let it go. Free yourself and be good to yourself and invest in yourself. And you can start with the Epic Women's Conference on September 29th. To register, you go to LaShondaLeslieSmith.com, LaShondaLeslieSmith.com/epic. And you can register. You pay the $35 registration fee. You have to click return to merchant site to go back so you can register for your classes. Classes are filling up. So now to get back to Julie May, I believe I was talking about, maybe. But anyways, I'll get to all of them at some point. So Julie May, many of you may be aware, she had a very tragic loss very, very recently. And she has decided to use that pain that she has experienced, the kind of pain that no person should experience. And she's going to share how she's walking it out. And it still is a very fresh process for her. It still is a very painful process for her. But she understands that every single thing that God allows in our lives is to grow us and for us to use as a testimony to grow others. And so this dear sister of mine is willing to walk out her pain so that she can fulfill her purpose and help you all fulfill your purpose. And so I'm excited about that. And I'm very, very grateful to her about that. And also, Christine Schmidt, Pastor Christine Schmidt, is going to do a workshop on authenticity. What I find is that a lot of women. So I often have women who say, "Hey, LaShonda, I'd like to meet with you. I want to understand, how did you get to the pinnacle of your career? How did you start that nonprofit? How did you work?" Many of you may know my testimony, and I'll give you a little brief snippet of it if you don't. My life is an open book, literally. So if you don't know my testimony, where have you been? But I was a very, very young mom. I had my first child at the age of 14 and was still able to go to school. It was very, very hard, but I eventually was able to graduate from high school, go on to college, go on to grad school. And so much of that, all of that I owe to God. He gets all the glory. He gets all the credit. I also owe a lot to my husband because I had a partner that really helped me and made much of what I was able to accomplish possible. However, I have a lot of women that reach out to me and say, "How did you do it? And what were your strategies?" And I'm telling you, there were a lot of sleepless nights. There were a lot of tears. There were a lot of sacrifices. There were a lot of things that I couldn't do. I couldn't buy, places I couldn't go. There was time even that I had to sacrifice with my children when I was in grad school in particular, really in school, period. I mean, I was probably in school the first 13 years of my marriage. And I am interested in going back to finish up my PhD. When someone's ready to pay for it. So if you know someone out there that is just dying to pay for this sister's PhD, you know, tell them to holler at me because I'm interested. But anyhow, so these dynamic women are going to be talking about so many fabulous things. And let me see, I want to pull up a couple of other women that I think are just fabulous. And I just have to refresh my memory about what their classes are because there's a lot. So don't judge me, basically, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so Amanda Williams. Now, y'all all know this sister who is phenomenal. I mean, I just really don't have words to describe Amanda. Amanda is going to be talking about overcoming fear. That is one of our most highly sought after workshops, overcoming fear, because so many women are just afraid to step out on faith. And they don't even realize how brave they already are. They don't realize that every single day that you get up and you put one foot in front of the other, you taking care of your kids, you holding down your home, you doing everything that you can to not go crazy with this, this juggling that we do as women. You are already brave. You are already powerful. Every single thing that you need to accomplish, every single thing that you've been purposed to do on this earth has already been placed inside of you. And so I believe that in Amanda's workshop, she's going to be able to pull that out of you and talk about how she has overcome fear and how she's pressing through some other areas in her life, and hopefully help you guys get set free as well. Valerie Rendelman, affectionately known as AV, Apostle Val, is going to talk about addressing stagnation. So many of us at so many different points in our lives have been stuck. And many of us don't really know how we got there. Number one, we don't know how we're going to get out of being stuck. And so this is the workshop you want to be in. If you're in this place where you feel like, well, I have come to this height, I've come to this level, and I have now some spiritual stagnation, I have some mental, emotional, physical stagnation, and I don't really know how to get myself over the hump. Be in Val's class, and AV is going to help you get set free. And then my sister Danette Campbell Bell. So I got to meet Danette through AALDP. Side plug: if you are African American, male or female, and you have not looked into, explore the African American Leadership Development Program, shame on you. Because the African American Leadership Development Program is a phenomenal program that helps to cultivate African American leaders. So you may say, well, I'm already the CEO of the or corporation or nonprofit that I run. Don't matter. You still need cultivation, and you still need to understand where you fit in the grand scheme of things, in particularly if you live in Rochester, New York area. But it doesn't matter if you live in Rochester, New York or not. There are leadership development programs for just about every affinity group in every city across the country. So you need to find those leadership development groups and help build yourself up, invest in yourself is what I'm trying to say. So Danette, I met her through ALDP, and I'm a public speaker, and I have been doing public speaking since the 4th grade. I love to talk. Clearly, I've been live for 33 minutes now. And I do a lot of public speaking across the country, and it's just something I do. It's the thing that I would do for free. It's the thing that I would travel the world, travel everywhere, speaking to people, hopefully trying to inspire people, because I love it that much. And I've been told that I'm all right at it. I do all right. And so when you are a public speaker, pretty much, I think whatever field you're in, if you are, you do all right in it, you tend to be critical of other people. And when I heard Danette Campbell Bell speak for the first time, I was awestruck. I just paused. She gave me reason to think. She made me sort of stop and process and mull over what she was talking about. She made me want to be a better speaker, y'all. Now, that is a bad sister. When she makes you want to be a better you, somebody who can make you be a better you is a bad person. They're the bad, shut your mouth, okay? And so Danette's class is on developing your story. Sometimes we glean too much from someone else. Sometimes we oftentimes, I would say, we compare our backstage to someone else's front stage. I'm going to say that again, just in case you didn't get it. We compare everybody. It does, man, woman, child. We compare our backstage, the things that we may be okay at and not the best at. We will take that and we will compare it to somebody's front stage, the things that they are great at, the things that they've studied and cultivated and have, perfected over the years. And we need to stop doing that. Instead, we need to develop our own story. And that's what Danette is going to talk about, developing your own story. So I'm very excited about that. Hey, Jaquima, I just shouted you out, sister. I talked about your relationship course a little bit early, and I'm so very excited to have you on board. So y'all don't sleep on Jaquima, because she's a dynamic sister. So in Danette's class, she is going to make sure that you are not comparing your backstage to someone else's front stage, but instead you're developing your own stories, and you're developing your own elevator speech. You got your own pitch. So when you have that happenstance meeting, I'm not even sure if that's a real word, but let's say it is. Okay. So when you have that by chance meeting and someone is there to give you an opportunity to go to the next level, you don't mess it up, because you know who you are. You've already developed and have become familiar with your purpose. And now it's just about cultivating that thing until you can actually reach the pinnacle and begin to achieve whatever God has purposed for you. So Shira says that there are so many great speakers, she's not sure what to choose. I would say, okay, happenstance is legit. Thank you, Tanya. All right. See, I'm gonna move on. I was gonna say something that's probably not appropriate for this live, so I'm just going to move on. Okay. Yes, make sure you register, ladies. Very, 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 very great classes. Many, many things to choose from. I would say just take time to think about what's going on in your life right now. What areas do you need the most? And if there's something that's tugging at your heartstrings, that's where you need to be. If you're you have ever taken those surveys where there's they're A and B, it could be either one of them, and they will say, pick the one that resonates with you the most. So this is the kind of case where you just got to choose. You just got to go for it. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, you can register on my website, LaShondaLeslieSmith.com/EPIC, EPIC. EPIC is an acronym that stands for Esteemed, Passionate, Inspired, and Courageous Women. And this conference was laid on my heart. I feel like this was something that God wanted me to do 4 years ago. 4 years ago. I mean, don't we get in the way? We let ourselves get in the way. We talk ourselves out of doing things that we are capable of doing. And I will say that this is something that I could not have done alone, that there is a whole team of women that stand behind me that are just, I just feel really, really blessed. And so Martha Williams-White is on our team. Julie May is also on our team. Shamika Collins, Joelle Breedlove, Chris Butler, Stacy, Brianna, Wanda, Leticia, Tanya. There are so many people who are pouring into this conference to give you guys an awesome and dynamic conference. And as I mentioned, there are 12 different workshops that you can choose from. There'll be 3 sessions. So here's what you need to know. There are 3 sessions in the workshop. It starts with registration from 8 to 9. There will be an opening session from about 9 to 9:50-ish. And then you head over, there's probably about a 10 to 15 minute break, so you can peruse the vendors that are in the exhibit hall space. And then you will get to go to your first workshop. In the first session, in every session, there are 4 different workshops to choose. So you just got to pick, ladies. I don't know what to tell you. And so here's some exciting news that I want to tell everybody. I see Koyan. Hey, Koyan. Miss you, girl. So I'm happy to bring this conference wherever y'all want to be. But y'all gonna have to show up because y'all know I'm busy. Okay, there's a lot to put this on. A huge conference for hundreds of women. Yes, hundreds of women coming together to really pursue purpose and to pursue passion. I'm willing to take that anywhere, and I'm very, very excited about it. So our conferences will be biannual. We will meet for this particular conference. So I think you guys probably heard that it was annual early on, and I think we were, but it felt like God was moving me in a different direction from that. And I just believe in God moments, and I believe that he really directs my path, and no time is ever wasted. And there really is no such thing as coincidence, but there is so many other things. Okay, so my mom is calling me right now. I'm gonna have to decline her call, so don't y'all tell my mama that I declined her call because I was living with y'all. That wouldn't be right, okay? Because y'all gonna get me in trouble. All right. So I'm promise you I'm gonna call her back. But anyway, so the conference will be every other year. So the next conference that we will have will be in 2020. So ladies, don't wait. Don't say, oh, I'll catch them on the next time around, because that's going to be in 2020. And, you know, who knows what's going to be happening in 2020. And your time is now. Your time is now. And so what we have decided to do on the off years is make this an international conference. So our conference in 2019 will be in Jamaica, man. Yeah, man. It will be in Jamaica. And it's only fitting because I have tree job, man. Okay. So we're gonna have some sun, some sand, and some fun. And we're hoping to bring in a very dynamic speaker who we haven't booked just yet, but I think that you will love it. And that conference, the deposit, you can make a deposit at the Epic Women's Conference for the Jamaica retreat. We will only take 30 women for the retreat. I'm sorry. So if that were Epic Women's Conference, that wouldn't work because we have far exceeded that already. So if that is something that you're interested in, this Jamaica retreat, it will be a 4-day retreat that will be all inclusive, including your airfare, for a very minimal price, which I can't say just yet, but we will have all that information for you at the conference. So come with your coins, okay? Come with your coins to the conference to not only patronize the vendors in the exhibit hall there, but also to prepare yourself. If you're truly interested in that women's retreat, the Epic Retreat in Jamaica next year, 2019, make sure you see us at the conference, because that's where you'll be able to register for that and put your deposit down. And that will be in July 2019. So I am happy that my sister Jaquima and Leslie and so many other people have joined today, because y'all know I was by myself yesterday. I had one little sad viewer. That's why I don't do lives, because I'm not good at it. I'm good at a lot of other things, but this one is probably not my strength. But I'm going to work on it, and we'll go from there. So yes, I would love to discuss offline with you, Koyan, about DC. I just came back from DC last week. Oh my God, sister, I should have looked you up. I am so sorry. Next time, because we stayed at the district, which was just phenomenal, fantastic. So again, for those of you who just logged in, Epic Women's Conference is September 29th. Yes, this year, 2018, at the Hilton Garden Inn in College Town. And next year, we will have the Epic Women's Retreat in Jamaica, man. Yaman. And so I'm very excited about that. And it is going to be a phenomenal time. As I mentioned, the retreat next year will be 4 days. And we'll have a day and a half of conference workshops with a very special speaker that I know you are going to love, but I can't tell you right now because I ain't signed the contract. So y'all not about to get me. Why you signed the contract, boo? Okay, so if my husband was on there, that anyways, I'll just move on. But anyhow, the dates are still pending, but we're looking at the second week in July, so 11th through the 14th, something like that. But I mean, you can mark your calendar for that vicinity, but we have not solidified that date just yet, but it will be happening next year. International Retreat, Epic Women's Conference. You heard it here on the live. That's what's up. Okay, because that's how we do it. All righty. So I have been living for 45 minutes. I think I like this, y'all. Maybe I like it more than I probably should. So Jaquima said the speakers, well, y'all know what she said because y'all on live. Yes, speakers absolutely get first dibs. Absolutely. That's what's up, sis. Bring your coins to the conference. That's what I say to you. So you put that down payment down and you will have a seat. But we're going to have a lot of fun. And like I said, there'll be a day and a half of conferencing. And the last 2 days will just really be excursions and fun times in an all-inclusive resort, not result. That's not the word I was looking for. Resort. I have several degrees, I promise you, from reputable institutions. But anyhow, it will be at a fabulous resort and it will be all inclusive. So your food, everything is included, and airfare will also be included. We will be flying out of New York City, but again, details to follow. And we have a fabulous AJS Excursions that is helping to put that together, fabulous travel agency. And so we are doing it. So thank you so much. Yes, I do feel like, Roxanne, I am walking in my destiny. I'm walking in my purpose. You know, for those of you who have given birth, you can understand the process of birth, that when you get ready, you're in labor. And sometimes, you know, my aunt was in labor for 4 days. God bless her soul. 4 days. And so you can labor over a thing for a long time. But when it's time to give birth, when you are there and you're laying in that labor and delivery room and it's time to push, you can't not push. Giving birth is the only job that you can't quit. You got to go through with that because there is no other way for that baby to come out of you unless you're willing to give birth to it. And so that's what this conference is for me. I had to give birth to this. This is a part of my destiny, and you all are connected to me and to my destiny, and I'm connected to your destiny. And when I'm in the labor room, I hope somebody's going to be there holding my hands, holding my legs back. Y'all know that happens, right? Because that, you know, sometimes you need a little help when you're trying to push that baby out. And then I'm going to be there right in that labor and delivery room with you all, sis. And that's a general sis, a very universal sis. Because every one of you are my sisters, okay? Except for my brothers. They're brothers, y'all sisters. But anyhow, every one of you, we all have a responsibility to give birth to whatever God has placed inside of us. It is our responsibility to birth our destinies. And I also think it's our responsibility to lock arms with our sisters to make sure that we are holding those legs and holding those hands and helping them to push. And we're the cheerleaders on the side saying, you can do this, keep pushing, keep going. I know that I've had a lot of people who've done that for me. Olivia Bradley, Martha White. I mean, so many people have done that for me. Leslie Myers. I've had so many people, Sean Nelms, not just sisters, but brothers too, who have said, you can do this, keep going, you got this, don't drop the ball, keep your eyes. So there's 1,000,001 analogies that you can use. We can be on a football field, we can be in labor and delivery. But whatever it is, we need to get it over. I know nothing about football, so I'm not even going to try to go with that analogy because I will be talking about shooting hoops on the football field. And I know that's probably not right. However, I know a little something about giving birth. I know a little something about labor and delivery. And I know that when it was time to give birth to that child, I had no choice but to push. And if we're talking about Brandon, that big head took 2 hours of pushing alone, not labor, 18 hours of labor, 2 hours of pushing. But anyway, I digress. So thank you guys for joining me on this live and learning a little bit about the Epic Women's Conference and the Epic Women's Retreat that will be taking place in Jamaica in 2019. I hope you can join us. If you have any questions, any concerns, feel free to inbox me. You can go to my website, my email, all my contact information is there as well. And then lastly, I just want to close by saying that finances should not be an issue for this conference. We have had so many generous donors reach out to me to purchase tickets so that they could be set aside for anybody who is having a financial challenge. And for some, $35 could be a financial challenge. If you are that person or you know somebody, please inbox us. Now, I mean, I may be opening up the floodgates with this, and unfortunately, we won't be able to accommodate everybody, but we do have 5 scholarships that have been donated by different people, some who wanted to remain anonymous, and others I just need to double check to get their permission to share that they have donated these tickets to you all. But finances should not be an issue. I really want to make sure that every woman who is supposed to be in the room, do you hear me? Every woman, I got goosebumps when I said that. There are women who are listening to the sound of my voice right now, and you know that you're supposed to be in the room. Do not let pride stop you. If that $35 is a challenge for you, and trust, at one point it was a challenge for me. And all of us have probably been there at some time or another. Even if it's not, you don't have money, but maybe you're just being a good servant, a good steward over what you have, and you're saving for something else in the future. But for whatever the reason may be, and please don't tell me that you need to get your hair did, and that's why you don't have $35, because we won't scholarship you. So, but for those people who have a legit financial hardship, please reach out to me. Don't not be in the room. Don't go and get fed. Don't not go and get fed. Don't not be there to get what God has purposed for you on September 29th at the Hilton Garden Inn in Collegetown. I am LaShonda Leslie Smith, your conference host and visionary of the Epic Women's Conference. It has been a pleasure to be live with you tonight. And at some point, I'm going to figure out how to bring my speakers on because I love for them to be able to talk with you and share with you because this is going to be epic. All right, I'm out.